And we're live. And if I sound a little down, if I sound like I'm not too happy right now, it's because my picks aren't doing well. So guess what? In order to help me out, I get probably a man who is walking and burning. I mean, he has a little sunburn, I know, from the sun itself. Yeah. But other than that, it's because he's hitting on every single one of his damn picks right now. And joining me is Tim O'Keefe. Follow him at TK_picks. We were talking a little bit ago, and you're on a big heater right now. Is that correct?
Yeah, John. So it's and now we're gonna give everybody fair warning. This amount of the heater can't keep up. But I went for Philly influencer, went 10 of 11 over the weekend on picks.
Jeez.
Some personal picks yesterday. I didn't post anything, but personally, I went 4 out of 5 yesterday. Like, it's been hot. So let's hope it keeps going.
I feel like we're gonna balance out a little bit.
Yeah.
Because I've just been brutal. The past few days has been the absolute worst. And I guess that's baseball. It's going to happen to teams itself on the diamond, but also to those betting on the diamond. So I've recruited you today. I need your help, Tim. I need help. I don't call 1-800-GAMBLER. I call Tim O'Keefe. That's who I call. For a few games, I do want to start on this slate because it's one thing I've been kind of thinking to myself over and over again. Look, if the Reds are at home and they're facing a right-handed pitcher, just bet them no matter what. And this is one where it's kind of that borderline of Dylan Cease is actually pitching really well. He's an ERA just under 3, but the Reds are at home. They're facing a right-handed pitcher, and they usually hit pretty well in that context. I mean, I put a Reds over 4.5 at plus 108. But of course, the scary part is now I'm not betting money line or anything here because these are it's just a really volatile matchup. But again, the context that I like to look at with the Reds here is just, are they at home? Are they facing a right-handed pitcher? Both of those are true. And Tony La Russa is completely mismanaging the bullpen all over the place. So that helps a lot too. Is this one though, where I'm maybe going a little bit borderline here and maybe taking that, or what are you thinking with this one?
So specifically looking at this one, I kind of look at the White Sox as a team that's, a ton of expectations coming in this season, and now everything's just going wrong for them. Obviously, the Eloy Jimenez injury in spring training. Luis Roberts now out for 3 to 4 months.
Yep.
And you're right, La Russa is, look, we'll see how the season plans out.
Patience is already running thin for La Russa.
Exactly.
At least the front office with La Russa, so that can't be good.
100%. And maybe he should have just stayed retired, but hey, he's here now. So,
or maybe somebody shouldn't have called him out of retirement. That probably would be a better way to put that.
Exactly. No, completely agree with that. So what I'd say is here, there's too much going on with the White Sox that I'm not betting on the White Sox. Yeah. So I think if you're making me play it, I am with you on the Reds. I think I'd probably lean just more Reds in the game personally than the team total over. But again, I think the Reds are probably going to put up some runs. So I can see both sides of that. My personal pick in that game, though, I would just back the Reds at home with everything going on with the White Sox. There's a lot of distractions there. So
yeah, and they're not the greatest against right-handed pitching. Usually when I attack, there's certain contexts and situations I like to bet the White Sox. It's usually when the lefty's on a mound because the White Sox for the past 2 seasons have been doing well against left-handed pitching. But now a right-handed starter, minus 107, it's a little bit each way. Like this was plus 108 for the Reds, money line minus 107. It's really close. Yeah. So it's not like, you're getting such a huge price difference. If you just want to go with the money line, minus 107. I think I would too. I'm a little concerned about Jeff Hoffman though, and just the Reds in general. Yeah. I don't see the Reds as a complete pitching team. Their bullpen has been a little bit shaky. I know Amir Garrett's been doing a little bit better and all that, but I'm concerned mostly about Reds pitching than anything else.
No, and I completely agree. Cincinnati's not a team that I'm in love with at all this season, just to be clear. This is more of for
betting
me,
against
an
the White
anti-White
Sox.
Sox.
No, absolutely.
Yeah,
that makes sense. Is there any chance we bet on this Yankees-Astros game? I looked at it for a second and immediately kind of looked at that pitching matchup and went, I don't know. I don't think this is going to be particularly high scoring, even though the run total says it is. It's a weird game for me. I kind of stayed away from it. I looked at it right away because I would like to say Greinke plus 104, but then the Yankees lineup has been hitting well lately. Kind of scares me a little bit. It's one game that I looked at for a second and immediately just went, nah, that's not for me.
I also think it's a nod for me. So yeah, let's not make any official picks. If you're making me take it, if I'm getting Greinke against Herman at plus 104, that has to be the play.
That's exactly why. Yeah, absolutely. Getting plus money on that, the better pitching matchup, I guess. But it's just not enough for me to take that. Now, I did end up taking this one. It's already gone up a little bit on the money line. I took it at minus 132. Huascar Ynoa, outside of one game, has actually been very good. His stuff has been a lot of swing and miss kind of stuff. It's really good. And Joe Ross, I think, very well noted, not good. Now, the National League East, betting on the National League East has been an absolute just roller coaster.
Yep.
But I think with the Braves here, the pitching matchup is the best. I think the Braves will be able to get the Joe Ross. And I don't think the price is that high to stay off of it. I would probably, and I do have, at least on WinDailySports.com, I do have the Braves minus 132 today.
Yeah, and John, I like that side. The Braves have the better lineup. I like Ynoa more than Joe Ross coming into the matchup. The Nationals, I believe, last I checked, are somehow winning this division, which is surprising to me. But the Braves are the better team. Braves are the better team. We both know that. I'm with you. The minus 134 is not a huge price tag. Atlanta here is a nice play. I like that value play there.
Yeah, Huascar Ynoa 2-1 this season, an ERA of under 3. Nationals 500, 12-12 this season. Braves 12-16. Again, I think it's more I'm betting against Joe Ross than anything else, and I think the Braves should be able to tag him. Anything with the Phillies? I know we both pay attention closely to the Phillies. Not for me, to be honest with you.
No.
Because minus 165 is not enough for the way this lineup has been. Bryce Harper is still out. They should be able to get to Eric Lauer, but as we know, that the pitcher that they should get to, they don't. There's too much volatility with the Phillies. And maybe I should think of it the same way with the Braves, but I like the pitching matchup a lot, and I love this one. But with the Phillies injuries still and everything, it seems kind of volatile to be kind of betting on them.
John, it's a trap game to me. You see the minus 165. The minus 165 with Aaron Nola, he's clearly the better pitcher, but the Phillies barely escaped with a win last night. You're not going to have Neris available out of the bullpen. Archie Bradley, to my knowledge, is still not back. Jose Alvarado is still out. So I'm curious who's coming out of the bullpen once Nola gets out. Even if you get a solid 6-7 innings out of him, who's coming in after him is a question.
And they haven't won a lot with the top 3 starters as of late.
Yep. No, completely agree. And the lineup we're missing guys in the lineup. That 165 price tag is way too much for me. I'm not touching the Phillies. Honestly, I don't personally, I'm a Phillies fan. I'll admit this is to elude any bias. I don't bet against the Phillies myself, but yeah, the value here is with Milwaukee. Yeah, fair enough. The value here is with Milwaukee. I'm not arguing that at all.
Yeah, and it was surprising yesterday. Look, I bet the Brewers at even money. It was a little bit surprising yesterday. I'm a big Vinny Velo guy, but man, that was a spectacular game he pitched, and I didn't expect that. I was expecting it to be pretty close to a tie game, and the Phillies bullpen to surrender the game or to blow it, and they almost did, but it was a little bit too much of a lead. And Vince Velasquez honestly pitched a lot better than even I anticipated. So I'm not going to go back to the well here. Just not what I like. I looked at the Tigers plus 160 for a little bit in this next matchup. I think Nick Pivetta can be hit. The strikeout rate's pretty good. Tigers obviously strike out a lot. I looked at it and I thought, okay, this might be a good one with Fulmer pitching kind of well. Take the plus 160. But there's just something about the Red Sox and going up against right-handed pitching that I just can't bet against. I can't do it. Especially with Nick Pivetta, to his credit, pitching pretty well. He's pitching well. I'm not going to go against him. I don't think this is going to keep up all year, but I think we've both probably gotten burned this season once or twice going against Pivetta. I'm not going to do that again with the Tigers lineup. Not in this one for me. I'm staying away. I'm not betting on the Sox either. Minus 190. I will not bet on Nick Pivetta at a minus 190. No, I can't do that. Yeah. I'm staying out of that one. So here's an interesting one. And I immediately looked at that and went, okay, Jacob deGrom doesn't win very many games. Plus 175. I know the Mets have been hitting better, but Jovan Oviedo is actually flashing some really good stuff. And he has an ERA that I think is just over 2. Like guy is flashing like mid-90s fastball. Yep. Really good stuff. Look, deGrom's great. And I at least have, and it's a little juiced up. It's I think minus 135, minus 137. It is juiced up. I always like going the first 5 unders in these games with Jacob deGrom, and I think this kind of leads into one here because Oviedo's pitching well. I still don't trust the Mets lineup, so it could be a good matchup, but it is a little bit juiced up. So immediately right after that, I thought, all right, maybe the Cardinals have a shot here. Do they legitimately have a shot here?
They definitely have a shot because even though deGrom's incredible, we all know the story. There's never any run support. There's nothing there for him. And now this is one I'll have a little disagreement on one here, but again, I'm with you on the Cardinals. It's a weird to say. I think I'm calling the shot that deGrom is going to not be a 0.5 ERA tonight. It just can't keep up. The Cardinals run line, the Cardinals game run line, I believe was 2.5, and you were getting plus money. Last I checked, if you could scroll down there, say 2.5, and you're getting plus 105. Look, if Jacob deGrom goes 6 innings, 2 runs, and now I just get 1 bullpen run from the Cardinals off the Mets bullpen, I think that's good plus money. Of course, he's been incredible, and he's the best pitcher in baseball. I don't want to come off against that. He's not. There's going to be some runs scored occasionally against him, and I think the Cardinals have been a little hot. They're starting to get up in that division. I like the over 2.5 with that lineup with a lot of pop. That's my favorite play of the day. Actually, is going against Jacob deGrom. I'm taking the over 2.5 at plus money.
Yeah, I think there's a few plays here that don't be scared off by deGrom, and I think there is. You can take the 2.5, which it's happened, I think twice here. It's happened at least twice this season. What I do like though is out of all these games, there has only been one that a team hasn't covered the 1.5. So if you want to do that, it's not at a huge price point, minus 112. Here are the final scores: a 5-3 loss to the Phillies, a 3-0 loss to Miami, a 4-3 game against Colorado in which they won, a 6-0 game in which they won, but that was the Washington Nationals who weren't playing well, and a 1-0 loss. Either these games are losses or they're one-run games. The run support thing is real, and Johan Oviedo is one pitcher I think that should do well enough against this Mets lineup. I'm thinking low scoring, so if it's that low scoring, maybe stay away from the first 5 under 3.5 because of the juice. Take the plus 1.5 run line at minus 112 instead, or take your chance at a plus 175 since Jacob deGrom is 2-3 this season, or at least the Mets are in games that he has started. So I think that's a chance. And of course, obviously, if it's a 1-run game or they're going to win or be that close, the 2.5 is obviously in play here at plus 105. But I like those. There's some ways here that you can kind of use the Jacob deGrom non-run support thing against them. And I think, I think you're absolutely right with that play with the over 2.5. So that is the Mets Cardinals game. I looked a little bit at the Royals. They have a good matchup here. I didn't look at the money line. I went immediately with the Royals, I think, to the over 4.5. They've been hitting it on and off for the past 5-6 games. But this is a pitcher that they should be able to absolutely rock in this matchup.
Yep, and John, completely agree. We're along the same lines. Royals over 4.5. I was looking at over in just the total game because both offenses putting up some runs last night. 8-6.
Mike Minor's not good.
And Mike Minor's not good either. So so I think both of those plays are good plays. Whether you just want to ride the Royals, if you want to ride that hand against Hentages there, or you just want to go with the total over of 9, I think both of those are solid plays.
Yeah, that one I expect a lot of runs. Hey, this game was 8-6 yesterday. I'm leaning on my end, I think, a little bit more just to Royals because I like the matchup against that guy right there, Sam. Yeah, not very good. Now, this is a tough one. I wanted to bet the first 5 under 4.5, but I'm just not sure. I don't know what we're getting exactly. Shane McClanahan, I think I'm just more infatuated with the stuff than anything. I mean, it's what it is. I'm not really betting on much. I mean, his first start was pretty good against Oakland, and Oakland hits pretty well against lefties, and he still did well. Los Angeles does not. So I was kind of betting that, and the Rays lineup I don't like, and I thought there could be an under, maybe a win here for the Rays. Are we doing anything with Shane McClanahan yet, or is it still give him a couple more games to start betting him kind of in this one?
So for me, it's still a little bit too early. I know the stat reader is saying where the Angels can struggle against lefties there, but it's still a little too early for me to, when the Angels have the better lineup, in my opinion, for him to be, it looks like a very, very, it's pretty much pretty even matchup, right? Minus 103, minus 113, pretty close. If he was getting some plus money, now you're talking to me, but I think it's too early for me to be playing even money against the Angels, especially on the road. So I'm probably staying away from this one personally, but I'm not. That's not to say that I like the Angels either. I think it's it's a little bit of a mess game. I'm going to stay out of that one.
Yeah, this last one, I don't think, unless you have a play for the Mariners and Orioles, I don't know if I'm going to do that one. But
I do not specifically have anything on Orioles Mariners.
As you can see, though, because I wanted to say this for last. As you can see, I have a play here, -125 money line, and I know the pitcher is Cole Irvin. It's been well documented. I'm not a fan. I don't think he's very good. He's pitching very well, though. He's going up against a volatile Blue Jays lineup, but they can hit the fastball well. He doesn't have a very good one. It's been better this season. I don't think this is a great matchup for Cole Irvin. But then I look on the other side of things. Anthony Kay, lefty. Oakland hits lefties well. This guy's not good. An ERA over 10. I just think Oakland smashes this guy early. They get up 5-6 runs within the first 3 or 4 innings, and we just call it a day. Am I wrong here, or is it kind of right to back Cole Irvin? Even at -125, it's a little bit of a high price point for a guy like Irvin, to be honest.
I agree. Look, obviously coming into the year, we were both betting against Cole Irvin, and so far he's proved us wrong. He has stepped up. The guy in his last 3 starts has been not phenomenal. It's not the right word, but like very, very solid.
Yeah.
So I can't really go against him. I'm definitely not taking K with the ERA. I believe his ERA is in double digits. I thought.
Yeah, I think it's a little over 10. It's not good.
Yes. So that's nothing that I want to. I'm definitely not taking the Blue Jays at that price. You might be able to talk me into maybe taking the over, even though I like Cole Irvin. But I think you are highlighted on the right play. I think it's at the Athletics with Irvin at home. He's been too good. K has not shown anything yet this season. And the words are coming out of my mouth. I am ready to back Cole Irvin as a favorite.
We're gonna do it now. I'm going to place it today with Daily Sports. If we're both going to be on a Cole Irvin play, it's just something we got to do. Now it's where we're at in life. This is what we've come to. May 4th in the baseball season. It's just where we're at. But
John, if he gets us this win, I will write him an apology letter and just say, I apologize for all the earlier hate.
I will get my Cole Irvin jersey shipped to me along with my Vince Velasquez jersey. That's where we're going to be. So here we go. I actually think we were going with the Reds money line there. But here are our plays for today. I do like the over 4.5 plus 108. I don't know if I'm going to bet it yet. I do like it. But here's where we get really interesting is mostly the Cardinals. Plus 175 against the Mets for the money line. The over 2.5 is at plus money. The run line is at -112, which is actually not a bad price, considering, again, that these games aren't – Jacob deGrom games aren't necessarily blowouts. These aren't, big leads and big wins. Primarily, it's they either lose or they're winning in a very close, low-scoring game. Yep. And I think I'm going to take that. I think the Mets have been doing better. Not well enough, though, I think, to take any bet. The Cardinals are 17-12 this season, 8-6 at home. Johan Oviedo, not as big of a name as deGrom. Guy is pitching well, though, so I want to give him a little bit of credit. I think we're really on the Cardinals today is what I'm finding out.
Yeah, no, 100%. That's the favorite play on the board. Like you can see, 3 plays there that I feel comfortable with all 3, especially with the value you're getting on the money line and the plus 1.5 where you're pretty much getting even money. Like that's really good value. And again, I'm kind of calling it like deGrom's been incredible. The ERA is not going to be at 0.5 at the end of the year. That's not what's going to happen. So I think here's a spot where he could let up a couple runs. Not many. Like, look, again, 6 innings, 2 earned. That's still a very good start. And then, you get 1 or 2 off that Mets bullpen later.
Yeah, I think me and you both kind of riding the Cardinals train. And, I don't want to invest too much, obviously. So, advice to those betting this, don't take all 3 of these. Yeah. Pick your spots. If you think it's going to be a close game, but you're just not sure if the Cardinals win it, then just take the run line. If you think the Cardinals do win, or at least you think this is going to be a little bit high scoring than usual, hey, take that over 2.5 at plus money. I think it's not that bad of a bet. And if you just want to take the big plus money and take the Cardinals to win, which, Jacob deGrom and Mets starts is 2-3, or the Mets are and Jacob deGrom starts. I think it's worth the price there. All of these are worth the price. It's just which one, how you think this game goes, what you feel comfortable with. But I think what we're advising is there is really good money on all 3 of these, or at least good return on all 3 of those bets there for the Cardinals-Mets game. Over 4.5 for the Royals, -112. The Braves money line, -134. I have it -132. Oakland Athletics, I did like the over 4.5, but maybe we can just stick with the money line here at minus 125. I think they just get the win. Maybe if not the runs, I think they do end up getting the win in this game at home. So those are our bets for today. Better Baseball Podcast. Tim, hopefully the golden touch has worked its way into the Better Baseball Podcast and for my bankroll. So hopefully that's the case. But where can people follow you again, and where can they check you out?
Sure, John. So I'm on Twitter at TKO Picks, as you can kind of see on your screen there. And then also do some work over at Fox Sports The Gambler on Thursdays. You can hear me, and PhillyInfluencer.com. You can also read me there.
That's where you can also check me out too. Fox Sports The Gambler. Also, WinDailySports.com. Plenty of stuff out. Oh, by the way, Tim, free baseball content today, WinDailySports.com. Free. That's a great thing to check out today. And so, look, if you've been trying to check out our baseball content, not sure yet, just do it now. WinDailySports.com. It's free baseball content.
Absolutely.
And see what you like. I use it all the time for my bets, and it helps me out. Now, I apply it to the wrong bets because I'm an idiot, but that doesn't mean that the information is wrong. The information is there for DFS, and you can apply it to sports betting as well. It is absolutely incredible stuff by Brian, Jared, Adam, all of those guys. So check it out. Free content, baseball content today over at WinDailySports.com. We'll be back tomorrow here at Better Baseball Podcast, WinDailySports.com.